Tell them who you are. If you're living in the movement, you wanna praise God. This is how we do it.
Top of the day to you. We're back out here on the pumpkin. Today's goal is get that puppy back out in the parking lot. That is my goal for the day.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the...
So, back where we left off, I was going to put the pumpkin back in. So, I got the axle. The axle's back up underneath the truck. Can't see that pumpkin, but the axle's back underneath the truck. I've got it cleaned up. Got it all cleaned up. And now all I got to do is put it back together. There's the front, the upper. And over here, I put the axle back in because in order to get that axle out, I had to disconnect everything back out. So now, we're right back where we started from. I just got to put everything back together, which is putting, got to put everything on this side. Put everything on, upper, lower, ball joint, and axle. And I've got to put the torque bar. Got to put the torque bar back in, and the new key. Good times, man. And I'm always forgetting something. Anyways, I had to go buy new shocks because I cut the one off, and I didn't like those shocks much. It didn't ride right, so I bought new shocks this morning. Only thing I did forget is this. This is the front knuckle for the driver's side. I've still got to separate that. I've got to get this, we got to get that out. The wheel bearing. And clean it up. So that kind of screwed my day up for the day. I forgot all about that. So, my first thing is I'll go ahead and I'll break this apart and get it apart. And clean it up real quick. I gotta get this ball joint out. That's the upper, because the new one's already on there. So we'll get this tore apart, clean it up, put that black sealer on it, the stop ruster on it, and while that's curing up, well, you know, kind of drying, I'll work on putting the torque bar in, and we'll go from there. I've got to get it done today, man. This is I've been on it too long. Been kind of a rough week, so let's do this, man. Let's get it back together. Picked me up some cheap Harbor Freight gloves. They've got like a rubber on one side, but they're flexible steel. Because my Milwaukee's, I love these gloves, but they hold a little too much oil, so they're kind of junk. But anyways, I'm gonna give these a shot and see how they work out. It's got a rubber grip to it, so we'll give them a shot, man. They're not as flexible in the fingers like the Milwaukee's, so we'll give them a shot, man. See what happens. Well, that was fun. So, I had to beat on it pretty good to get that out of there. Kind of mushroomed my head a little bit, but I can take the grinder and clean that up. I'm not worried about that. But, yeah. She's pretty rusted, bro. And I can't get this shield off because the bolts won't come out. I went from number 10 down to 3/8, and it still won't spin loose. So I'd like to get that off there so I could clean it all up, but it won't come off. So what we'll do with this is I'll spray it down with some degreaser and clean it up really good. We'll spray this. I'll hit it with the repaint, the cleaner, and it'll get a lot of that grease off of there. But I'll take the grinder and clean this all up really good. So I get to doing that. There's always, every time you go to do work on a car, man, it's always like 1 step forward and 6 steps back. So let's get to clean this up real quick. All right, so I just took the grinder, little wiry brush on it, and cleaned it up a little bit. Nothing major. I'm not trying to get all fancy about it. I just want to get some of the loose off, some of the grease off, and then we'll do a spray on it. It's just a prep spray. It helps with the greases and stuff, oils. Like I said, guys, don't get hating on me, man. I'm just cleaning it up, trying to prevent it from rusting up any more than it already is. You know what I mean? So we just clean her up, wipe it down, and put a coat of good rubber on it. Put a little color on it. Now that's it is a 2-in-1 formula and seal. What it does is it basically, it just keeps it from rusting any worse than it already is. It kind of encapsulates it a little bit, and like I said, I'm just trying to prevent it from rusting up any more than it already is, because it's kind of hard to find those knuckles. So let's go on to the next thing a little bit, and I got the lower end. Now time lapse me putting the front, the top one on, and the ball joint, and all that good stuff. Cool. The key's not that hard. You just have to wiggle it to get your key right so it hangs down far enough. Because once you put tension on it, once you put the tire on it, you're way up here. And then you can turn the key to bring it back down where you want it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll tighten up these bolts a little bit and get the upper on, because that's almost dry. I gotta put the bearing in there. So the axle, I just set it on here, slid it back, and it popped right in place, no problem. So my axle's on. Now I got to put the bearing in the knuckle, and then we can put the knuckle on, and then bolt up the lower and the upper. And because I cut the bolt, I had to cut this off, the nut wouldn't come off, so I can stick it in there just for leverage inside the knuckle, and then break this nut loose. So that's what we'll do now, put the bearing back together. Well, I got tired of fighting that thing, man. The nut has, on the GoPro mount, it stripped out. So the shaft that goes through here, that holds the GoPro in there, it decided that it didn't want to work today. So I got the collar out. I like the collar. I used this thing for almost a year, but that way you can hear me, because also my wireless mic's not working either. So let's put this bearing in, man. Oh, that's really good. Just drop it right in the freaking dirt. Whatever. I know what's wrong with it. I dropped it in the dirt. So just have to line them holes up. I sanded it down pretty good, so of course, you know, I also just forgot that. Where's my bolts? I lost my nut. Here they are. I beat on them, so I'm gonna have to take the grinder and knock the head back down, smooth it up. All right, give me a minute. All I gotta do is just I mushroomed it So just kind of clean that edge off. Now I'll see if it'll work again. One second. Three-quarter. And three-quarter. There it is. So I'll set that with an impact socket. I remember what size it is. I'm missing a couple sockets here. I don't even think I was 15. A little wobbly for 15. 9/16. She's tight. I go with the 15. The 14 is going to be way too small. 15. I'm not a big mechanic though, so don't trip on me. So put that back in there. Flip her over. Oh, my fingers. Get a nut going. Them hoses are kind of tight. Probably because I beat on it. Let's get us a wrench, or ratchet, I mean. Yeah, it's a little wobbly. It's a little off center. Make sure it goes down in there correctly. What I do, bend the end of it up. Yep, bent the thread on it. That's what happens. That's what happens when you beat on your tool, bro, or your supplies. That was not that well. It's not bad. We hit her with the gun. It's only going in one time. You know what I'm saying? It's my little gun. It's a 12 volt. That's a big 20. That bad boy will break some stuff loose. This one here, it likes to babysit things. So we already know we're crossthreading it. It straightened it out. Well, well, they didn't like that much, did it? Good times. I think it is a 14 because I just rounded that 15 off. Yep. So what happens when you beat on your sockets? That's pretty good right there. That'll work. Give it one little bump in reverse. Usually straightens it up or gets it off. That one there is so tight. Let's see if Mr. 15 can round it off for me. Looks good to me. Check the seat, make sure it sets all the way. Looks good. It's in the truck. You know what I'm saying? I love this new toolbox, man. I gotta find my sockets though. I think I'm missing a couple. It's in this mix somewhere. You know what I mean? Or it's underneath the truck somewhere. Let's get this in. Stalled. So now this is goes this way. See how easy it's gonna be to get that axle on. Look at that, baby boy. Look at that. Let's go get the nut. Nuts laying around there somewhere. Oh, it's in the box, I think. Maybe not. At the end of the freaking world, it's the same freaking nut. You know, we just reused the old nut. I'm not sweating it. I'm not sweating the dumb stuff. I'm sure somebody's gonna comment about it. Oh, you can't you reuse your nut? Okay. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the top off, get it in the hole. Get it in the hole. I'm gonna need the jack for this. Yeah. Well, let's hold on a second. Before I get too stupid, I'm gonna see if I can get that bottom one on first. So I don't have a lot of room. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of room to work with here on this. So, it looks like I'm gonna have to put the lower on first. Put the lower on. Glad I thought about that before I went too far. Where'd my nut go? There it is. Alright, get the lower on first. Whew. Scooby's having a bad day. And then put the axle in. Yeah, I'm gonna need the jack. Oh, dick on it. Ooh, your fingers, bro. Oh, the joys of working in the dirt. Whew. Good times. Let's get this axle started. There we go. I'm gonna raise this up. Axle's in. Pull this over. Set this. Raise it up. Put the nut on it. That ain't gonna go on. I might have to raise it up a bunch to get that nut on. Why is it? There we go. Might have to put a pair of pliers on that one. It's not going down far enough. Put a plier on it, bro. And put the nut on the axle so that that's stationary. And then we'll get a big pair of pliers mashed down on that. I got the job. I know what's wrong with it. Need a bigger pair of pliers. And that's a pair of freaking channel locks, bro. Oh my gosh. All I'm doing is just mashing it down a little bit. Maybe. Maybe not. There we go. Just enough where I can get a thread on it. You know what I'm saying? Cool. I don't want to mash too hard. Alrighty. So, the ball joint. Get a hammer. Always need another hammer. Another hammer. At least it's out there where I can work on it. There we go. Set it just a little bit, because like I said, I cut the head off. Now I can break this loose. I need that nut loose. Let's get into my new pliers, or my new, I'll show you my new wrenches. Woo, I got me some Icon, baby. Some big boy Icons. That's a pretty big nut. I don't know if that 3/4 is gonna fit it or not. Nope. Oh, look at that. Bought new wrenches and can't even use them. It's the old guys. 13, 16. I know I had a wrench for this. Oh, that ain't gonna work. And that's a big, well, 7/8. Try 7/8. Nope. Ain't that some shit? I thought I used a wrench on this. I don't really care for this. This is a Crackman. And you knock these little fingers out and your sockets just pop down in there. I don't really like this much, but it works for now. So we go to the big guns. We go get you the, I got your freaking wrench. I got your wrench, boy. So it really shouldn't be on there all that hard. So we'll just give her a good whack-a-po. Whack-a-mo. There we go. Get it up where I can swing on it. Come on. Come on, baby. So, get on there. Oh, knocked it out. Okay. So now, hopefully, look at that. God is good. Even though I'm bad, God is good to me. So now we'll just unscrew that bad boy. Easy peasy, bruh. Because if you remember on the last video, or yeah, last video, my tie rod ends were no good. Wrong size. I have brand new ones, and they're the wrong freaking size. These right here, that's not even the right freaking tie rod end. So I went over to the old Pet My Boy. No, Riley's. Riley's always got it. We got a brand new one. Blah blah. Just like the last one. So all I did was break that loose, maybe turn it in half, spin it back on, right there, and then slightly tighten this back up. Just give it a turn. That's about as far as I went with it. So, because it's going to end for alignments. Now remember which way your freaking tie rod was. Alrighty. Tie rod in, baby. Tie rod in. Bam. Well, that was awful hard getting it on there. I know what's wrong with it. It's out of bolts. Just gonna get it started. I'll get on crazy with it. Just get it on there. Pull it on up a little tight. I hit it with a, I'm pretty sure I got this ratchet. It's got the oil fill on it, lube fill on there. Alrighty, man. So we're back together. All I gotta do is tighten everything up and put new shocks on. I had to go buy new freaking shocks. The alignment issue, I have to straighten the wheel out, put a level on it, just to get me in the general gist of where I'm supposed to be. So, and then the brake caliper, the mount's right here. It swings around here. I think it goes on the back. Yeah, because this line here goes underneath. So let me make sure I can get that freaking brake caliper through there. Wasn't that stuck? Well, I may just created my own problem. Yeah, that's a problem. It's not a big deal. Take this nut loose. See, and be mindful of what you're doing, man. Mindful of what you're doing. I got the jack still under it, so there we go. Look here, boy. Alright, so yeah, the brake caliper goes out here. So this little line here mounts right there, and it goes underneath. So let's put the hook back on it. Get a hook on it. Hook on it, boy, so it doesn't mess it up. Wouldn't that suck if I'd had the whole thing together and had to redo that? Oh my gosh, that would have bit a couple of dollars. There we go. Give it a little mash. Okay. Alrighty. So yeah, my brake caliper goes right here, or the hose, and then it goes on the back. Hopefully I can find all my bolts. Stuff scattered all over the place, man. Yeah, this is bad, dude. Look at that. She's crusty musty. I'm definitely gonna have to order some new parts, man. That's for sure. These brakes are just done. I wonder where this freaking truck come from, man, because it was rusted bad. So now I'm gonna take a break because I can, because I'm the boss. And then we'll tighten up some bolts on this side. Yeah, then we'll tighten up a bunch of bolts on this side, put the crate disc back on, and go from there. Then we have to go do the same thing on the other side, which is not a big deal. So it's only like, I don't know, 11 o'clock. I'll have this bad boy back out there in the parking lot today. Break time. So again, like always, I got a little overzealous. And went ahead and got my brake caliper, the brake mount, all that stuff. I get it all installed. I think that's about 17. Ooh, bigger. 18. I don't think it's a 19. I think that 19 will be too big. Well, 19. All right, I just want to use my new tool. So I went ahead and put the mount for the brake caliper on. Man, I know they're bad, so don't trip, bro. The brake caliper's pretty rough. That's my next project. Let's just kill one dog at a time, okay? That'll work for right now. And yes, I did put my nut on there, my big ring. So now there's a little bitty bolt. It goes in, the brake line connects right here. I just gotta find that nut. I noticed he's laying up here the other day. I wonder if that's the nut for this. It goes in the second hole. What do you know, bro? Goes right in the hole. Ish. There's no threads in that. Ain't that some shit? There's no threads in that. What is this, tap your own hole day? I know it don't go in that hole. Yeah, there is. I can see them. They're just dirty. So, let's get us a socket to fit that. That's probably about a 14. It's like this whole freaking truck is put together with either a 13 or 14. Get the little ratchet out. Still has a battery. See if we can't manhandle this thing in. Alrighty. Yep. That'll work. Have to get the gun out on this bad boy. Yep. Get the gun out. Don't put that chrome on that jackhammer. I'll put that chrome in where I want. Alright. There we go. Good enough right now. At least I got my brakes back on. We just got to tighten all these other big nuts up, put shock on. This side's done. Cool. I gotta go. I'll take a break. I gotta let the dogs out. Did the babies, man. They're my babies. Not too worried about this stuff. Got a camera there, and a camera there. And my car's sitting here, so people think I'm in the shop. Let's go let the dogs out. So I was over at the place. See if we got a new nut for this. Because I don't like having this thing around my freaking neck. So we'll give that a shot, man. See if it works better. The little nut works every time. Now I get this freaking thing off. I'm not used to wearing that, man. I mean, it's nice. You know, I used to wear this all the time. For my GoPro. I used to wear it all the time, and that's because it's new. As soon as I walked in the apartment, they were being recorded, but kind of keep people on the cool side. I don't like having that around my neck. I feel sorry for my dogs. Let's get back to work, man. Got everything's tightened up. I'm not really too worried about the adjustment right now, but I got everything. Yeah, I'll use the old cotter pin just to hold it there. I have to go get a bunch of cotter pins. I need one for that. I need one for there and for the lower. So, and I only got one bolt left over. Anyways, so the other side, I got the other side back on. Other side's already back on. We definitely got to do these brakes, man. They're bad. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the shock on it, and then I'm going to adjust the key. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. Oh, it's going to be a good one. I have to figure out the best way. I guess I could just crank them in. Crank in the key bolts. Because it doesn't have any weight on it. It's free. It's just hanging there. So if I turn them, bring it down, yeah, I'll do that. I'll just crank the bolts down, and that'll bring the front end down, which aka bring it up, and then we'll do the adjustments from there. Whether I have to, it'll be a pain in the butt because you'll have to jack the truck up, adjust it, you know what I'm saying? So I think I'll just go ahead and crank them all the way in ish. we'll give it a shot that way. Well, managed to get it all back together. Both sides, put shocks on, whole 9 yards. Took the jacks out. This is funny. It's back on the ground. I got the tires on it. But I've got to hit that torque key with the big gun because I actually lowered the front of the truck. I can get my hand in here, but on the other side my hand rubs just slightly. And when I first got started on this, I measured that and I had 10 inches. 8 inches. So I gotta just raise it up, adjust the key, and that's the pain in the butt about this. That's what you got to do, up and down, up and down. So I think what I'm going to do, because I got it all back together, and I need some quarter keys, and I need some oil because I drained the oil out of the pan to draw the pan and stuff. So I'm gonna run over to O'Reilly and get some Earl and some quarter keys. And then what I'll do is I'll put the oil in it and I'll get it out here in the parking lot. That way I'm on more level ground, because in here the dirt, it tips down. So we'll do it that way, bro. I got her out of the tent finally. She is grossly slammed to the ground. Grossly. So now I got to jack it back up and adjust the keys, because that's slammed to the ground. But it's just adjustments, man. No big deal. We'll jack her up and hit them keys real quick. That'll freak you out though. Oh, back in the day, that was a cool look. You know, big tires in the back, little tires in the front. Anyways, let's get this jacked up and get them keys adjusted. Then when I'm done with that, we can clean this hole up. Then we're gonna do the bumper. That's the next project after the brakes. I also got to put the big major torque, or the front sway bar, back on. I didn't put that on because I need to put the rubbers on. I need to clean that up, and because it's all rusty up, you know. So we'll clean it up and put it back on the truck. Let's get this adjusted, man. Looks funny. Well, after some minor adjustments, damn good, man. I go around the other side, you can see it a little better. I've got about 10 inches between the tire and the bottom of the wheel well. That's 10 inches, man. Just like almost like in the back. It's a little tip down. That's where you want it. But it's all brand new, man. And I still have to put the sway bar back on, and that just keeps the truck from rocking. Pretty beefy sway bar. But I drove it to the end of the parking lot, and you know, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Everything seemed to be nice and tight. I still got to put like my quarter keys in, or quarter pins in, and the sway bar. But I'm gonna clean up the sway bar and paint it, put it back in. I've got new bushings for that, and I've got a schedule in for alignment, complete alignment. Let me get these tools, get the box put back in. I'm calling it a day. I'm tired, man. Hey, I appreciate all you guys who watch this video on the trucks, on redoing the suspension on the truck. I really appreciate it. I know it's not maintenance, but it's my life. So don't like it, don't watch it. I'm just messing, bro. So like I said, the next big project we'll do is the front bumper. Put that on, new brake calipers, and a sway bar. So appreciate you guys watching the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, man. I appreciate it. We'll see you guys.
Tell them who you are. If you're living in the movement, you wanna praise God.